Hi, this video contains information about the kind of questions that you encounter in the verbal ability section of the Infosys aptitude test. So as you can see, the first question given over there is based on a reading passage. So let's go about looking at how we crack these kind of questions. So first thing you need to do is understand the passage. So let's go sentence by sentence and try to understand the meaning of what is written in the paragraphs. So in the first sentence it says primitive man was probably more concerned with fire as a source of warmth and as a means of cooking food than as a source of light. So you can understand that primitive man used fire for two reasons. One is warmth, another one is for cooking food. Next sentence says, before he discovered less laborious ways of making fire, he had to preserve it, and whenever he went on a journey, he carried a firebrand with him. So, in order to preserve fire, what he did is he took a firebrand along with him wherever he went. A firebrand is nothing but a wooden stick which is always on fire. Okay, so when he goes to other places, he will be able to light the fire with the firebrand that he is carrying along with him. Let's see the next sentence. His discovery that the firebrand from which the torch may very well have developed could be used for illumination was probably incidental to the primary purpose of preserving a flame. So it says that he didn't carry this on purpose, but it just happened, is what is mentioned over there. So from there it also says that the torch may have also developed because of this. The next sentence says lamps too probably developed by accident. So that's a pretty simple sentence to understand. Early man may have had his first conception of a lamp while watching a twig or fiber burning in the molten fat dropped from a roasting carcass. A carcass is a dead body of an animal. So if the fat falls down on a twig or a fiber, it obviously lights up. So that's how you would have probably come up with the idea of inventing a lamp, is what it says. All he had to do was to fashion a vessel to contain fat and floated a lighted reed in it. Reed is some kind of a plant that grows in marshy or wet lands. It's something like a grass, some kind of grass related to grass. So they just had to put that in some kind of fat, and if they lit it, then it would keep burning, as is the concept of a lamp, an oil lamp, just imagine. So such lamps which are made of hollowed stones or seashells have persisted in identical from up to quite recent times. So it says that we can even find such lamps nowadays. Let's have a look at the questions and try to answer the questions. Primitive man's most important use for fire, so there's a typo error over there, it's fire not 5, was to what? To provide warmth, to cook food, both A and B. I think it's both A and B, because let's go back to the paragraph and check. The first sentence itself says he used fire for two, there were two uses for fire. One is to provide warmth, another one is to cook food. So there A and B are the answers. So you need to go with D, both A and B. The firebrand was used to what? Obviously it was used to provide light. Very simple. He carried a firebrand, that is a wooden stick, if you remember. So he used it to provide light. Let's go to the next question. Primary means most important. So as mentioned in the paragraph, let us go back to the paragraph. It says in the middle of the paragraph, it says primary purpose of preserving a flame. So primary means most important or fundamental. So you should choose B. Next it says lamps probably developed through mere dash. So there again you remember that it was accidental that lamps were discovered. Let's go back to the paragraph immediately in between it says lamps 2 probably developed by accident. So, by accident means by chance. So, C is the suitable option over here. Let us have a look at one more question. This is a fill in the blank question. This is not related to the previous paragraph, it is a totally different question. So, it says these essays are intellectually dash and represent various levels of complexity. So, how do you go about answering this question? You can understand there are different levels of complexity. So, obviously the brain has to work in a very good way. That is, you need to have a lot of wisdom in order to crack all these levels of complexity. So, you need to be intellectually pretty good. So, it has to be D. That is, these essays are intellectually demanding. That is what is the suitable word in the that can fit in the blank. Let us have a look at one more. So, it says they dash TV ever since they came home. So, it is pretty evident that these people were outside, they came home and immediately after coming in they started watching TV and even now they are watching TV. So, you need to use the present perfect continuous tense since you have the use of ever since they came home. So, present perfect continuous tense is C. They have been watching TV ever since they came home. Let us have a look at one last question. So, here it says you need to correct these sentences. So, the first one, he did many mischiefs. Now, here you can see that it does not make logical sense to say you do not do a mischief, you commit a mischief. Okay. Mischief is something on the negative side. You commit a crime, you must have heard, right? Similarly, you do not do a crime, you do not do a mischief, you commit a crime or you commit a mischief. So, C is the most suitable one over there. One more last question is, Rohit is as fast as or perhaps faster than Manish. So, there is no need to use as fast as, you can simply go with as fast. C is the most suitable one. There is no need of the second as over there because it just says Rohit is as fast means equally fast, but then you must be wondering why equally fast does not fit over there. You need not use equally as such, only as fast or perhaps faster than Manish is more than enough. So, it is just a comparison that you are doing between this person, that is Rohit, and Manish. Okay. So, this is how you go about solving these questions. So, these are some types of questions that you can encounter in the Infosys aptitude test in the verbal section. Thanks for listening.